Welcome to Flex GUI. In this video we're going to show you how to create the jog controls. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is bring in a group box for my jog controls. I'm going to rearrange some things on this screen here by dragging and dropping. Watch where that blue line is, or the red box. That's where it's going to go. Okay, now I got my group box where I want it. Rename it. Now we got to grab a push button, drop it in there, go to our documents, go down to controls, jog controls, and we got Q push button for plus and minus jogging. We'll start out with the plus. Okay. And this is to be 0, which is X plus. I'm going to use Control and drag to create copies. This could be Y, 1, Z is 2. Go ahead and change the names. It's just that simple. Now, go grab another push button here, and that's going to be my minus, jog minus. And we'll grab that. That's your minus object name. And 0 for X. I'm going to hold the control key while you drag it, and it creates another one and increments the number. It really saves a lot of time. And Z. Okay, we'll save it. Run our configuration. And it says I got something missing. My jog velocity slider is required. So my jog controls are not enabled because I'm missing a required item. You gotta have a velocity slider for jog. So we'll go into the inputs. I'll stretch this a little bit, make a little more room. Go down to the inputs here, input widgets. Get a horizontal slider, drag it up in there. Set the object name. Now save that. We're going to run. And we're still missing the jog modes combo box. So we'll look at that. That's a combo box called jog modes, CB. And drag a combo box in there. Change the name. Save it. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, we can't jog at 0 velocity. I can run it up a little bit. You can see the DRO move on X. Alright. Let's add a velocity label so we know what speed we're setting at. That's just a label. And I'm going to lay that out in a grid. And I want that label to be centered in its space. And we're going to save and run our configuration. I'm still at 0 when I start up, and there's nothing to select on there. So let's go back and fix that. In the INI file, we add some entries in there to. This first one is increments, and that's for the combo box. So increments of 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. Now we see we got those increments we could select. Also, you can have unit labels behind the increments, a space, and then a unit label. There you go, and that'll display. We'll see that in a minute. There we go. Now you see I got 1 inch, 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter. Yeah. Now, I got it to 1 inch. I'm pressing, at least, oh, I can't jog at 0 velocity. We're going to have to fix that too. Alright, press and release it. It stops jogging when you release it, even though you got 1 inch set. It's not going to continue on. You got to hold the button down like this until the move is complete, and you can see that it moved exactly 1/2 inch. Okay, let's go set our default linear velocity, and that's the velocity the slider will be set at when you start up. And this is 0.2 inches per second, so it's going to be 12 inches a minute. So now let's set the minimum linear velocity just to demonstrate that, and that's 0.1 inches per second. And now we run the thing. There's our default, there's our minimum. We can't go below 6 inches a minute. And now we'll set the max. And that's 1 inch per second on our configuration. And you see we can go from 6 inches a minute to 60 inches a minute. Now if we go change that to 0.75, that'll be 45 inches a minute. And you can see got all our things, and it's just that easy. So thank you. Goodbye.